Hello, everybody. Welcome to the D-pad for our May Patreon Hangout. I'm Rick.
I'm Peter.
There's Peter. Hanging out. The light is slightly blowing out the screen, and that's okay. My favorite thing about it is that the zebra stripes, are just an aura for the sign at this point. It just is there. You can see it doing a little scanny thing, but it, stops right around here. The zebra stripes go away, despite the fact that that's better lit than anything else in the room. So, I would expect there's, a light bit of zebra striping going on here, but it's so bare.
Do you know what that is? I know what that is.
It's usually because the camera's struggling with the, variance in. It's what. So the way that I always knew it was that
dimmed, right?
that's as low as it goes.
This is LED lighting.
Yes, there's actually there's a little, it is LED lighting.
So it's probably pulse width modulated, which means that the frame rate of the camera
is interacting
and the pulse rate of the light
in the same way as in the same way as a TV or something.
Yep.
Nice. If anything, it makes it kind of fun that it's that sort of weird scanline aura style looking thing going for it. And actually, right behind you should be the little knob. We should actually show them what it will look like if we turn it to maximum power. For comparison, yeah, that's maximum power.
Can you read that?
It looks amazing in the room, but yeah, not so good on camera. Yeah, bring it all the way back down. You'll be able to. There you go. Whoop.
Minimum
there it
light.
is. Yeah, the absolute minimum amount of light. It's almost it is noticeable in the room, but you could understand someone kind of missing that slightly. But yeah, I'm still super congested. This is we have our monthly hangout, just to kind of talk shop, talk where the channel's at, update folks on things that are going on.
This month, the channel had COVID.
Yeah, this month, Sarah and I got COVID 2 weeks ago, and we are better now, or we're getting better. We're not testing positive anymore. We just feel low energy in general, and we're just kind of pushing through the day. You can probably see the bags under my eyes. Sleep has been difficult for the last week and a half. But yeah, anybody who's watching this in the VOD afterwards, you can head to patreon.com/dpadfm to find out how you can get in on this live with these fine folks. I'm so bad at
finding chat,
at reversing my stuff correctly.
You have no practice as a weatherman.
I know. If anything, if I were a weatherman, I would almost prefer to not have the mirror image. I would rather have it be. Actually, no. Mirror image is fine because we don't have mirror image.
Right.
We are when I what you guys see or what I see, but I'm reaching left across the screen right now, so it just is confusing when it's backwards. We are, in fact, unquarantined at last. Still being cautious generally, but, we're no longer, I literally, so I wore a face mask to bring out the garbage, and I held my breath anytime I grabbed something from the front door, just because we have downstairs neighbors who have the same front porch as us. So, trying to minimize any possibility of stuff, floating around.
And I had COVID 2 weeks before them.
Mm-hmm.
So I should have super immunity at the moment.
Yep. Lindsay, I think, also had it a week before we did. Or maybe it was a little further back than that. It was the end of April, I think. It was around the same time that you had it too. And it's just okay, everybody's all getting it all at once, which...
Separately, all at once.
Separately, yeah. Separately together. But yeah.
It's been the theme for a couple of years now.
No kidding. Oh, my God. Yeah, so it's good to not feel as horrible as I did in the middle of last week. Last Tuesday and Wednesday were horrendous. Worst level of sick that I can remember in my life. I don't recommend it. I would recommend not getting COVID. Yeah, that's the whole list of advice. Is just don't get it. I mean, if anything, I was surprised that I hadn't got it at all before then, if only because it seemed like it was bound to happen sooner or later, and it did. It just took, 26 months to get there. But
I mean, but this particular round of people getting COVID has been moving really fast.
Yeah, especially up in our neck of the woods in particular. The New England and New York area has been like on fire with cases lately.
From what I read, it's sort of a Omicron Part 2 that picked up one of the traits that made Delta so good at spreading.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. It's a good old COVID family reunion. But alas. Yeah, so obviously videos have been a little on the lighter side for the month of May. Pretty much as a direct result of that, as well as just timing of things has been just a little bit tricky. Weather getting nicer means that people have more plans. COVID's a great way to lose those plans in a hurry.
I don't know who these people are who you're talking about who have all these plans.
No. I kept having like a single thing going on Saturday or Sunday of each weekend for like the entirety of the spring and summer. It's usually a small thing, and it's usually like a brief little whatever, but it was like every weekend it has something going on, and oh man, got it right at the start. Oof, that is rough.
Have you had it again?
Yeah, right, because like after, 3-ish months?
Yeah.
They're saying that it's that you can be exposed again, and the antibodies do start like petering off after a while.
I know of someone who has had it 5 times.
Oh my God.
And they never win the lottery. Do
they work in healthcare or
no, education.
Oof. Okay, yeah, that'd be my second guess.
Yeah,
fair enough.
That's the other place where you have a lot of exposure to people who are great at spreading diseases is in a school.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically half a month after I started working at a hospital is when I got COVID.
It'd be the most exposed you could realistically get without like trying to.
Although I did get it at a wedding, not at a hospital.
No, I got it at a night out. I was wearing a mask too for about half of the night. It's tough to drink through a mask, but I was already kind of iffy on it to start with, and very few people were wearing masks, and I was just kind of like the little paranoid thing in the back of my head. Oh, I can turn his up a bit.
Am I too quiet? I can also get in closer, share my nuggets of wisdom by eating the microphone.
Hopefully that should help a little bit. But yeah, so slightly annoyed about that and the timing of it. I had a camping trip that I had to that Sarah and I had to bail on that we were looking forward to. So that was not in the cards. Dave's birthday, which we weren't going to be able to go to originally, but we definitely weren't going to feel great about like showing up to a party. The most frustrating thing is just the energy is like it's so. I still feel just like wiped out constantly. Not like debilitatingly so, but it's just like that level of like annoying tiredness, like a frustrating. I want to do a thing, but I can't like get revved up to do it.
The desire for productivity and the lack of energy.
Yep. Which I've been trying to like not push myself over the line or anything, but like nudge myself to, keep doing stuff, because it's very tempting to like do nothing, but doing more streams again and little things like around the house and kind of fixing things up and things. But yeah, that first week was just like Sarah and I were basically like glued to the various couches and beds of the apartment, and literally got up to eat, use the bathroom, and move to a different one. That was basically our life for a week. So, but we're starting to get things on track again. Yep. Sarah doing kind of pace, but just walking for about 40 minutes, and that was like it for her for the day. And this was after like 8-9 days. Like she was just like, nope, it was too much. I'm so tired now.
Yeah, 2 non-COVID colds, and then COVID has been really difficult for bike riding.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Trying to get back. Yeah, trying to get back to full power for my pace because I got a 100-mile ride coming up in August. So.
Oh man. Yeah, that's gonna take some work to like get that endurance back up.
Yeah, the endurance is is a killer. I have 95% of my pace, but I am gassed out at like 15 miles right now.
Oof, Jesus. Well, hopefully, because that's what, 2.5 months now. About.
Yep, it's 2 months and a week until
Okay.
because it's the beginning of August. It's
Okay, so like 9-10 weeks from now, basically.
Yep.
All right. Hopefully that should be that. I mean, I would be stunned if you weren't like back up to form by then. Just
yeah, I should be.
As
I'm
things
going to
kinda-
try and get on the bike every day if I can.
yeah. The way that I've been describing it so far is that like at the end of the first week, after like day 4 or 5, I felt like I was back to about 75%, and each day has felt 1% better since then. Like I generally feel better each day from the last, but it's such a tiny difference at this point. I'm just like, come on, let's get with it, please. But yeah, the as far as the channel goes, things have been moving along. I'm sad. I was actually supposed to be going with Sarah on a vacation thing the second full week of June, but I'm going to be starting a new job sometime in the next 2 weeks and can't do that. So I'm going to be cat sitting in my own apartment for the week while she's out enjoying a little lakeside cabin thing with her folks. So I will be, I think the next time that there's going to be like a real gap of stuff going on out of me is going to be mid to late July. We're supposed to be going on a, oh my God, I'm so congested still. It's part of the reason I'm still sucking this down, the little lozenge, the little Ricola things, because they have been good about loosening up and my, decongesting and all of that, and it still keeps catching me. Sarah and I are supposed to be going on a trip in mid-late July for like a week, so I probably won't be streaming for that, and there might be a little quick downtick in the videos and all of that. I feel like it's like the dark room plus the low energy of coming back from being sick. It's just like a very like down tempo kind of.
It's a chill hangout.
Yeah, very chill one this time around.
Not quite a D-pad and chill.
Hey, nice Final Biscuit. That's awesome. Kudos. I am hoping to get a second offer so I can tell the people who gave me my first offer that I don't want their offer anymore. It super sucks, and I don't like being in that spot, but it was more of a desperate, I need this job, any job thing with the first one, and then a much better opportunity opened up, and I'm hoping I should be hearing in the next, 3 days from them. Hopefully it'll be the big yes. So, fingers
All right.
crossed.
Fingers crossed, all the energy for Rick to get the job he wants.
It'd be pretty good stuff too. It's in the realm of video anyway, in addition to doing web stuff that I'm used to. So
Oh, interesting.
yeah, so I think that'd be a pretty good place to go. And if anything, it might even give me some ideas on how to improve streaming things. So that's always a nice plus. I'm going to start running down our video list just because it's good to give people a heads up on those things. Hindsight remains in hibernation. We're still figuring out next steps on that. We have some things recorded, but we might be unusing them. We might be unrecording them and going with something else.
I think they usually call that deleting.
Yeah. I mean, they might still come out. They just might not be technically hindsight videos when they do.
You'll just have to make a short film.
Something. That's kind of what those live segments tend to be anyway. And it's already all fucked up to start with, but originally the plan was to do this last Friday, and then I felt like total garbage, so I decided to move it back to this Friday, and then this Friday wound up being busy at the last second, and okay, we'll do it Saturday, last thing in there. Excuse me, my God. I still don't feel like my best, but I didn't want to push this back any further beyond this. Yes. The most my sinuses and congestion is like that thing where it's right in the back of your throat, where in the middle of breathing it just kind of whoop, it clogs it up just right, where you're like, oh God, no.
Yeah. I know the feeling.
Mm-hmm. It's not my favorite.
It's a cough that catches you off guard.
Yes.
And working in a kitchen, I have the same issue right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wearing a mask at work.
Yeah.
But I still don't want to cough on food. and so this cough catches you off guard, and you have to like stifle it.
And you turn and yeah.
Get one of those elbow guys out. And then
Yep. I
Get
was just
back
like,
to it.
ugh, yeah, the, like half choke on it. Terrible. Yeah, hindsight's still kind of up in the air, figuring out where things are going with that. I don't know. I really don't know. It was supposed to be a much smaller thing to start with, and it just kind of spiraled really wildly. So trying to get a firmer grasp on that and figure out where it's going to end up. Who knows is the answer, because I don't. We will figure something out with it. Mega Man. We actually recorded some more Mega Man 8-Bit Deathmatch just earlier today. So the third chapter has been completed, and we'll be moving on to the fourth chapter after that.
That's how numbers work.
Yeah, it is getting better. It is getting faster, and I can't tell how much of that is just because of like luck with the levels that we got and the layouts that we got. I mean, I wanted Hindsight to be kind of a different thing to start, and then it kind of got nudged around a couple different ways, and the COVID, like the pandemic, definitely really screwed with the timetable on that in a pretty significant way. And then it's just been kind of a cascade effect from there. I'm tempted to like not bother with the kind of formal format of it at this point, but I don't know. We'll see how that kind of shakes out. But yeah, 8-Bit Deathmatch is continuing. I think we're about a quarter of the way through the game now. So rough estimate, if I had to take a wild guess, I would say we're probably going to be in the ballpark of like 75 episodes for this game. Which sounds like a lot, because it is a lot, because it's a beefy motherfucker.
It is a lot.
It is a beefy. I had debated at one point doing each chapter of the game, like coming back to it at each point in the Mega Let's Play post-game when the updates were released, like just kind of injecting new chunks of them. But I think that's just too disorienting, and it's better to just like plow through it and keep the reflexes fresh.
Oh God. The number of, if you did it that way, the number of death matches that just went terribly as you get your legs back.
Oh yeah, exactly. I think that would really cause more problems than anything else. Yeah, just taking a look at some of the other stuff that's in there. So 8-Bit Deathmatch, yep, is continuing. We got Mega Man Star Force 2. We're in the post game for that. I think Jeff is coming out next weekend. I think, and we're gonna be getting back on the horse with that. That's gonna be an interesting post game because it feels like we have a direction we can go, but I feel like we're inadequately prepared for it. So we're doing some of the other stuff we'll need to kind of do eventually. So like we'll kind of see how that goes, but I don't know. I'm excited for the Gunvolt games. I've been looking forward to those this whole time as kind of a fun little extra thing in there. Where's the first? The first one's still a little ways away, not like super far away. Like 8-Bit Deathmatch is still going to take a while to get through, but once we're through that, the rest of these are going to move relatively quickly.
Some smaller games coming up.
Yeah. Honestly, outside of Project Cross Zone and its sequel, which are going to be streams, 8-Bit Deathmatch is almost certain to be the longest thing that out of everything we have left. By like a pretty decent margin, even. Yeah. Well, there's Azure Striker Gunvolt 1, 2, and 3, and there's also Mighty Gunvolt. But there's others besides those, or Gunvolt Chronicles, right, which has 1 and 2 now as well. I was like, wait, wasn't there like a spin-off-y kind of thing or something? But yeah, the encounter rate is going to be a huge problem if for Star Force. It's the one thing that I'm definitely not going to miss about this game in particular is like, Jesus, the encounter rate is like absurd. In Star Force 2, like it just feels constant. Like, we never go more than literally 5 full seconds of just walking without another battle happening. And it's like, Jesus Christ.
That's great for editing, too.
Yeah, because I have to do my screen switching stuff on those. And
Yeehaw.
the first thing I do for every session of Star Force is sit there and scrub through it and do all of the screen swapping transition shit that's there before I can edit properly any of the video. And that usually takes at least as long as the video itself is, if not like 2 to 3 times. So it just takes so long to get even started on those. So looking forward to a point where there's less of that. Let's see what else we got. Oh, Sonic. So we're on pause right now with Sonic for a couple of weeks. Yeah, all the action on the top screen will be very, very nice. It'll make life a lot easier.
If they did switch remakes of the other ones, then it would all be just one screen, and that would be great.
That's true, and I would never have to edit any of that stuff. That'd be the dream. That would be the dream. But alas, they're holding out still. For Sonic, we finished Sonic and the Secret Rings. We are waiting at this point. We're on hold until Sonic Origins comes out. We're going to do some stuff for that. And originally debated whether or not to try squeezing one more game in before then, but it didn't seem like we had enough space. Plus, with Kirby winding down, I wanted to make sure that we were able to keep focus on that with us. We've now beaten Kirby in the Forgotten Land, but there's still like post-game stuff that's there. So we're going to be covering that. And then after that, Kirby, the Dreamy Let's Play, will be functionally over minus the Nightmare streams, which means we can focus a lot more on getting through Mega Man and more of Sonic and hopefully getting Pokemon stuff back on its feet. I got to talk with John, figure out some strategy stuff with recording there. He's got to keep moving in Shining Pearl, get that stuff going again. He might need to do those remotely. We will see. Finally, Sonic Rush Adventure yet? Yes. Well, we will be once Sonic Origins is over. And a neat little factoid that I'm definitely going to bring up in some intro-y thing with one of these is that we're currently, with the Supersonic Let's Play, it's not necessarily the middle of the Supersonic Let's Play, but it's the dead center of the time period from the release of Sonic 1 back in June of 1991 to now. We are now at the midpoint in time of all of that.
The middlest year.
Yes. We are 15 and a half years into Sonic's history, and we have 15 and a half years to go. It's weird because like there are ups and downs in terms of like how they were releasing games.
So when we get to 2016 in the Sonic timeline, are we going to be playing Mario and Sonic at the 2020 Olympics?
Well, Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. There's actually an Olympic Games one that's coming up fairly soon, in fact. There's quite a few of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 separate Olympic games, and some of them have multiple versions, too. So that'll be kind of interesting, but yeah, it'll be nice to kind of hop back into those and be on our way. Having Sonic and the Secret Rings behind us is nice. I'm happy. And Sonic and the Black Knight isn't coming around until after we play Sonic Unleashed, so we are at least getting another real-ass 3D Sonic game before we come back to the
Storybook
Auto Runner, the
series.
Storybook ones. We've done I guess that's true, right? 2016 and on has been thin on the Sonic side of things. We already played Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces. We might do something with those when we come back around to them, just for the sake of touching base again. Sonic Mania Plus, Team Sonic Racing. We're definitely going to do Sonic Frontiers when that comes out. Just because obviously we're not going to let that sit for however many years while we catch up. Like that we're going to cover as soon as it comes out. But yeah, it'll be interesting. There's a lot of like, it's weird. We're in kind of the second era. We're just cracking into the second era of what is functionally Sonic shovelware time period. Not necessarily shovelware, but just like tons and tons of spin-off things, which we haven't really seen out of him since the 90s, basically, when he first got popular. So that should be kind of an interesting section there. Already mentioned that with Kirby, we have finished the main game. We're probably going to have a YouTube premiere on Wednesday, June 1st, for the final episode of the real game. There are some good games in there as well. I don't mean to like totally shit on that era, but there's also just a ton of just random fucking games, and a lot of them that have multiple versions too, which will be interesting to come across. But yeah, Kirby, we're going to be doing post-game stuff starting next week. And then we're going to play that out at least until whatever the culmination of the post game is. And then I don't know if Lindsay wants to do more from there with like 100%ing or what, but we'll see how that goes. I mentioned before, I got to figure out with John, not just Pokemon Shining Pearl, but also it would be nice to get back into Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog one of these days, as well as Robot Rumble. Both of those kind of rely on John having more free time. It's been a little bit tricky lately, but we'll see how we can do with that. Pokemon, otherwise, the Isle of Armor will eventually be completed, as will the Crown Tundra. It's been so difficult trying to get lucky enough to have both Jeff and Ben's schedules line up to have them both here at once. But it will happen. We will get there. We're literally like right at the door, literally, of the last thing we need to do in the Isle of Armor.
So I'll just come in wearing a vest and complain about things with a beanie on.
Okay.
And I'll be Beth.
You can be Beth. Yeah, there we go. That's perfect. That's really the solution that we've needed the entire time.
I have all of those things. The vest, the complaints, the beanie.
You got to make sure to say that Pokemon just isn't as good as it used to be.
It's just not. I can't. See, there's the problem. So I like this game.
Yeah.
I like what they've done.
Most of the game I'm fine with. It's the story of the game has some real like potholes to it, in my opinion. Or,
it's
like,
a little
the
thin.
experience of it, but
it's a little thin, but it is. Its target market is 10.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So they can't get too complex.
Yep.
They want you to be able to follow.
I think my biggest issues come down to like, a lot of the animations do whoop. It's like actively,
the wire untaped. I just retaped the one that fell down on its own, and it's just not tacky enough.
The animations, not necessarily even on the Pokemon, but like in cutscenes, feel a little bit bare bones sometimes, and I definitely am at my most annoyed when it's like, hey, this thing is happening. Don't go near it. I'll go do it. You go back to what you were doing. And it's like, don't tease me with that.
They do that like 3 or 4 times, which is annoying in the main plot of the game. I haven't played Crown Tundra yet, actually, but Isle of Armor, I think, was much smoother written.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so as far as the wild area goes, like that stuff doesn't really interest me all that much. Like, unless I'm actively trying to do a living dex, which I've only tried to do once, when I'm playing Pokemon, I'm more interested in, like, the story and the, like, plot that they're building, and seeing the new Pokemon is always a nice thing. And just kind of that challenge of, like, building up and, like, defeating the enemy trainers. Like, the ability to, like, wander into one huge area to, like, hunt specific ones down just doesn't really do it for me. But I mean, like if it's a thing that works for other people, then obviously that's, fine. That's how that works. But yeah, me too, Final Biscuit. I would also, the other main reason that I want to get Diamond and Pearl back on its feet again, I would like to move beyond this. As it stands, I'm in the planning stages of something a little bit different as far as Scarlet and Violet, but nothing even beyond basic conceptual like thoughts going on there, but got a couple interesting ideas, and I think folks will be excited for it if one of the things that's being tossed around comes about, but we'll see how that goes when we get there.
I'm still looking forward to when they announce the names of the legendaries, and one of us owes the other one a Pokemon game.
Yep. I will be like just going off of how they've done it before. Like literally for Sword and Shield, they named them after the colors of the logos of the games, which was like, geez, guys.
Yep.
Didn't name them anything after like a special sword and a special shield. It was literally cyan and magenta with like a little something extra on there. It was like, damn, guys. All right. But yeah, so Diamond and Pearl, that's there. Resident Evil. Resident Evil should be coming back the second week of June. We had some in the can, and then COVID made things difficult. In addition to Lindsay was on a trip, and then CJ and Felice were on a trip. So just schedules were really not lining up, but we should be able to get that going again for the 6th, I think. We'll see how that one goes. We, I think, are finally leaving the village in 4 and moving up to the castle of 4, not to be confused with leaving the village in Village and going up to the castle in Village. Oh, yeah, Zacian and Zamazenta are cyan and magenta names, essentially. And yeah, Zyero, something along those lines, or Zygold. I don't know. I don't know.
Should make a separate prop bet with somebody over whether or not they'll have Z's in their names.
Yeah, right. Oh my god. It's so frustrating how often they're doing like 2 parts of something and implying that a third exists and then never following through on it at all. And it's like, oh, okay. The XYZ one bothers me the most, maybe because they had so many dangling plot threads. They were like, oh, this is a thing that could be answered if we, and then they did not do a Z.
And then they cut out that third game part of their development cycle.
Kind of seemed like it, yeah. Just kind of like, just get it done, get it out there. And it's like, oh, all right.
I think they
There's
probably,
a tall guy.
Somebody had to commit seppuku because they put platinum with Diamond and Pearl instead of silver and gold.
Yeah, I'm confused why platinum was the choice they made for that, and crystal for gold and silver. Like, maybe they didn't want it to sound like it was better than gold and silver? I don't know, but something.
Sun and Moon's third game would be Asteroid.
Yeah, Zygarde got shockingly little plot despite the fact that they were clearly building lore around it. That's the most confusing thing to me at this point, is like a bunch of the mythical and event Pokemon are built up as being these like really like big and important characters, and then they get like no real actual, like, they don't matter. Hoopa is there. Magearna is just kind of there. All of these things. It's like, oh, okay. Even though this one over here is visibly just a special Carbink. Why is it a special Carbink? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. It's like, oh, okay. I don't know.
It's just a special one.
Yeah, I guess. The Melmetal thing is like super annoying to me too. Meltan and Melmetal are like, let's arbitrarily, for the sake of Pokemon Go, add 2 more Pokemon to the Kanto Dex, thus super duper fucking up like everything Dex-wise. And you can't actually find them in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. You have to get them in Pokemon Go and then transfer them to Pikachu and Eevee. And also, from the sound of it, they just kind of suck anyway.
They do. They're terrible. And
they're like a gigantic pain in the ass to get. Meltan is not that difficult to get. Melmetal is like gargantuan annoyance to like, because you can only evolve it in Pokemon Go.
You need 400 candies. Which you can get if you like
grind up a bunch of Meltans.
Yeah, if you link the 2 games, then you can get the weekly, spawn a bunch of Meltans and then grind them up. Yeah.
Oh God, I think the point where I
Meltan's an 808.
Well, the biggest
I wish a better Pokemon was an 808.
I know. I think the most annoying thing with Meltan and Melmetal as far as the decks goes is that their mere existence means that you now have to distinguish between the Kanto decks and the national decks.
It should have just been the Earth decks that they were from. They're from Earth. Sorry, guys. They're from Earth.
They're just from here. They're from wherever. It doesn't matter.
Where do you find Meltans?
Earth. Planet Earth, the real decks. I don't know. It was so weird. It was weird to me that they just came up with that and that was it. Also, like it wasn't like, hey, here's 28 new Pokemon we're adding. Here's one pair of Pokemon.
They just wanted a tie-in to try and get an extra cash grab off of the tail end of the peak popularity for Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
They got Let's Go out just in time to catch that. I only was still playing because I had already decided I wanted to play Let's Go because Eevee is cute.
Yeah, having a game with Eevee as your starter was definitely a fun thing there. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. Also, I am not taking my foot off the gas in Diamond and Pearl as far as face-offs go. John can be mad that I'm using Stealth Rock all he likes. Not only does he also have Stealth Rock, he has a spin move. Yeah, and used it. He has a spin move that I don't have. So he can kindly take those complaints to someone who gives a shit. I
just, don't complain when you're losing.
Yeah. Well, also too, it's like if John didn't have a massive lead in the overall Pokemon Rivals thing, I might feel differently. But it's 4-1 right now? So no, I'm not going to give him any leeway whatsoever. Not giving him any advantages. He does not need any.
Was ist das Pokemon Sleep?
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering about that. What there was such a bizarre, it just showed up and then it was gone. So, I don't know. It was such a weird little thing. And maybe they just realized that the response to it was everyone going, what? No. And they're just like, oh, fuck that then. Never mind. It's been, 4 years since they announced it?
It was announced 2019.
2019, so 3 years.
To the day. It was announced May 28th.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. So 3 years ago today, that's fucking great, actually. That today's the 3rd anniversary of them announcing Pokemon Sleep.
It's supposed to be released in 2020.
Nice. Not to mention, that would have been the perfect time for it. A lot of people spending a lot of time at home. So why not use Pokemon Sleep?
The wiki article mentions that they have an SSL certificate registered in April of 2021.
Yep.
But that might just be to park it. That's well within the budget of some company to just...
Yeah, we're probably going to get a bunch of... around the time that E3 would be, we should be getting Nintendo Direct, the Sony State of Play, Microsoft, all that stuff. Everyone's going to be having announcements. I am probably not going to be able to do live reactions to everything. There are some that I will be able to do, but not all of them, just because if I'm working, then I'm not going to be able to do it in the middle of the day. But I will probably do some very careful reactions later on in the evening on any given day.
Are you going to be a Monday to Friday, Joe?
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be if I get the job that I'm looking for, that I'm hoping for, then it'll be a remote job that I'm going to be doing from here. But unless I'm able to clear a couple hours here and there where I'm off the clock, then I would still not really be able to do. I could do it during my lunch break or something if I wanted to avoid having to avoid spoilers for the entire day.
Right.
But yeah, Nintendo Direct.
I suppose you can't be on the clock and live on the internet.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm expecting we'll be hearing about Breath of the Wild 2. It'd be great if we could hear about Metroid Prime 4, but I think we're going to get that next year as far as news goes. Isn't Pikmin 4 also kind of weirdly hanging in the wind now? That's going to be a thing. Splatoon 3, probably. I don't know if I think that's still not out yet either, isn't it? So that might be something that we get some more info on. I'm curious if there will be DLC for Kirby and the Forgotten Land. They did, DLC for Star Allies, so it's a possibility they might do some stuff there. And then after that, I don't really know. Could be a number of things. It'd be great to hear an announcement of another Mario game. Would not mind. Okay, that's coming out this summer. All right. I would love an announcement of a Mario Odyssey 2. That'd be pretty great.
Well, they might be doing some like serious gameplay footage stuff for Splathrine.
Yeah, I would be surprised if they didn't have some huge thing there. Yeah, right. Metroid Dread coming out last year definitely buys them some time on needing to say anything about Metroid Prime 4 for sure. Also, whenever that does get a release date, I'll definitely be doing a Metroid Prime stream series as well. I think it'll be a good time. If they're smart, they will do a collection re-release on the Switch also, because why not? Like, it's just the right selection of difficult to play Metroid Prime right now, because you either had the GameCube games, which you could play in the GameCube or the Wii, and then there was the Metroid Prime trilogy for Wii that you could play on the Wii or the Wii U. But I don't know. Oh, we'll make sure Jeff plays some Prime Pinball. Make it happen. It'll be good. What else? Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts has been like narrowly missed on a couple weekends in a row at this point, where like Sarah and I are like, all right, no one else is going to be over last weekend. All right, let's just do some Kingdom Hearts. And we just didn't get around to it. We just didn't have the energy. We might do it tomorrow. We'll see. In which case we'll have some going up starting next weekend again. I do want to get moving on that. We are getting close to the end with not that game, but with Kingdom Hearts in general, or at least the road to Kingdom Hearts 3. I would like to at least approach finishing Kingdom Hearts 3 before Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out. Even if we still have like Dark Road and Memory of Melody or Melody of Memory, that's fine. But I would like to at least be done with 3 before 4 comes out. That is the goal that I'm shooting for. I think we're still a ways off. We're probably like 2 years away from Kingdom Hearts 4 actually getting released. But it would still be nice to get near to that, What else? I'm going to be doing more R-rated reviews. Ms. Marvel comes out in like 2 weeks. And then Thor comes out 4 weeks after that. So that'll be good for some stuff. And then She-Hulk is coming out in August, so that'll be a fun one too. That was a hell of a trailer for it. Didn't Kingdom Hearts 3 take like 10 years to come out after its announcement? Did it get announced back in like 2009 or something? I thought that it was more just that people were waiting for 12 years for it, but they didn't formally announce it until like, I don't know, 3 years before it came out or something. I'm not really sure. But yeah, no, I think we'll be okay on that front. If anything, the hardest part will be if there's a long gap between when we finish the rest of the series and Kingdom Hearts 4, having to remember how everything slots together again.
You'll have to watch your own recaps.
Yeah, right.
Or put together a recap for yourselves for the future.
Well, not to mention, too, it's supposed to be the start of a new saga, where I think the up through Kingdom Hearts 3 plus epilogues is supposed to be like the Dark Seeker saga, and now this other one is supposed to have a different saga name. I think it's like the Master Saga or something like that.
So a prequel saga, or
Kingdom Hearts 3 was formally announced in 2013. God damn. Holy shit. All right. Okay. So it was announced around the time we started the Legendary Let's Play, and it came out around the time we finished the main portion of the Mega Let's Play. Got it. Yikes. Actually, no, that's not even true. That's a year off. The Mega Let's Play. Did we finish the main one for that in 2018 or 2019? I forget when I think Mega Man 11 was 2018.
I don't know, I was dead at the time.
You weren't alive yet. You were in stasis. Yeah, September 2018. So I can't even make that silly joke because it's still off by a year. Good Lord. We got through the bulk of, we got through the main portion of 2 different franchise plays and still had a year left over before they finished Kingdom Hearts 3. Dang. Oh, my God. There are still plans to continue with the D-pad after dark. Are any plans for things that are not MCU still? Yes, there are. I had a couple that I was tossing around that I didn't wind up doing, but I do have one set of things that I'm looking at right now.
Have you thought at all about the Star Wars extended universe?
I have a little bit. By a little bit, I mean I'm fine with watching the movies. It's when the TV shows get wrapped up into it that I feel like I'm just going to become extremely lost, both trying to keep up as well as trying to know where things are placed. Like, they just announced another one.
Knowing where they're placed is tough, but they're probably better. Like, the new movies, I would say, are hit and miss in terms of how great they are. Although I guess that makes them great to review. It's
true. That's true. And yeah, I had considered doing something with Star Wars at some point. I would love to do some TV shows like outside of the like MCU miniseries. Yeah, I've definitely got a handful of things I'd like to try. It's going to depend on how much time I've got on my hands once the new job gets started, and once Kirby is cleared out, and things along those lines. So we'll have to see how it goes, but yes is the short answer. Yes, there are plans for other things. God willing, there will be some coming up actually very soon, so we can see how that goes in the next handful of weeks. I think that's it for me as far as like scheduling things that are coming up. I do have a surprise thing that's coming over the course of this next week. I don't want to say any more about it, but you'll definitely know what it is when you see it. Oh yeah, I've heard really good things about Severance. I've heard a lot of people talking about it, but I have not like absorbed any of the things that were being said because I figured at some point I might give it a watch. So that might be a fun thing to check out as well. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like so wiped out. I've done so little with my day today, and I'm still just like, it's just a lot still going on here. The next Patreon Hangout is most likely going to be on June 24th, Friday. I'm still figuring out. I think that I am about 90 to 95% sure on plans for June 23rd. And we'll see how things are going when we get closer to it. But I think we'll have some fun with that. It's not going to be anything like massive. It's going to be on par with how we did things last year in June for anniversary stuff, like a more low key kind of thing. There's some new merch that's going to be coming up soon. I don't want to spill the beans on it just yet, but in the next like probably 2 weeks, there'll be some new merch available, so that'll be fun. And I'm currently workshopping some other shirts and things as well. So we'll see those when they get there.
Hey, where can you find the merch?
You can find them at, I'm going to type this in so I can verify that I got it right, because I've got a couple of like pass-through ones. You can go to dpad.fm/store or dpad.fm/ or dpad.fm/merch. Both of those will take you to our Spring store. They're not Teespring anymore, even though when you want to log in, you got to go to teespring.com. But they're not Teespring, they're Spring, as evidenced by the stores at Creator-Spring.
Yep.
To let you know that you're a creator at Spring. I think that there were some mistakes made in their URL management of all of this stuff, but
they've had a little bit of a rebranding stumble.
Teeny tiny bit. Also, Spring is not a terrible name just in general, but take it from someone with an unfortunate amount of experience. If you name yourself something very generic, it does make it extremely hard to find you.
Wait. But everybody knows where to find a D-pad. There's one right here.
Yeah, right. I actually have no controllers by me right now. Okay, fine. Be that way, my
That's
desk.
right. I have two Wiimotes. I'll hold them
minute.
both up. These both have D-pads on them.
There we go.
Hey,
there we go.
Everywhere you want to be, there's the D-pad.
Everywhere you look, everywhere. Yeah, so Spring is just an kind of awkward rebrand on that. It does make it kind of annoying once in a while to like manage on our side of things, but dpad.fm/merch, dpad.fm/store. You can check out some stuff there. We got a lot of fun shirts. We got some masks. We have some cups. We got some pillows. We got all sorts of shit over there. So
did I turn the bike shorts on to public? I think I did.
I think so. I think you did. I'm pretty sure.
You get some bike shorts.
Yeah.
If you want to rep Tierra de los Hermanos Hook, 2-time champions of the Olympics.
I gotta put a picture of just me with like a gold medal on as the response of like, yeah, but I want a bunch of stuff.
Just 9 golds.
Yeah. I keep wanting to do. I keep
do like the time cover for Phelps.
Oh yeah, just him just completely decked out.
He was wearing a medal that he hadn't won yet for the shoot.
Oh my god. All right.
Yep.
As like a just in case.
Yep.
Nice.
They shot one with one less because they didn't want to jinx it.
Yeah, just in case. It was like, all right, we'll do one with both. For the second games, I wanted to do like a live intro or whatever that had just like silly shit in there for a bunch of everybody, and I forget what the gag I wanted to even do for it was, but I wanted to just be kind of like there, just like covered in medals, just like annoyed that we still didn't win the like our nation didn't wind up winning out the first time around, but
well, you're just gonna have the rest of your team sleeping on the couch.
Oh yeah.
Or seats with their name tags and they're not there.
Oh, there we go. Yes.
They didn't show up to the press conference.
Oh yeah. They're like, Nick, can you tell us about your plans for Mario Galaxy? And just
3 seconds of empty seat with Mike in front of it. Yep.
And then nothing. Oh my god. Whoops, I missed the. All right. Yeah, I think we're probably about in a good spot to wrap up on this one. I'm still super congested. I'm so sorry.
It's a good thing snots don't go through the internet.
Yeah, right. There we go. You guys are safe to watch this. Everyone is. Yeah, thank you guys very much for hanging out. If you guys watching this after the fact would like to join in on these, you can head to patreon.com/dpadfm to see how you can support the channel and jump in on some of this stuff, or get your name in some credits and some shout-outs and all that good shit. Help us decide on streams and things, too. Right now, Kirby is kind of taken over for me on streams, but when that wraps up, I'll be looking for some new stuff to play. Hello, James. Perfect timing, right as we're about to end this.
Convincingly drunk on Pepsi.
Nice,
all right.
nice. Thank you guys very, very much. I'll catch you guys next time. June 24th, Friday night. We'll be back for more of this. See you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.